Unless you've been living under a rock for the past month, you'll have heard of this little thing called ChatGPT, which is an AI chatbot that takes in text prompts and can do a wide variety of tasks. It's been used for things like writing essays, writing chapters of books, or even writing code. I've been playing around with ChatGPT for the past few weeks, and seeing its potential, I definitely think that ChatGPT represents a critical point in our history of everything, and I really think that ChatGPT and AI as a whole will really revolutionize everything. I know it's nowhere near perfect right now, and it definitely still has a long way to go, but I can definitely see the vision and just how far this thing can really go. Now, since one of the things we focus on pretty heavily on this channel is college applications, I was wondering whether or not ChatGPT could be used to write a good Common App essay. If I was a high school senior who was working on their college applications and was just really stuck on the essay and just had no idea how to go about writing the Common App essay, could I ask ChatGPT to write me a Common App essay and reasonably expect it to be good enough for colleges to accept me? I don't know, so let's test it out. Alright, so we're here on the ChatGPT website and we're gonna see how well it can write a Common App essay. Alright, and so first I want to see what would happen if I just ask it to write a Common App essay. Now, I don't think this is going to give us any good results because this is a very vague prompt and doesn't give it any details to work off of. So I think we're going to get something very generic, but let's just see what happens. Alright, looking at what ChatGPT gave us, it looks like this essay is about a woman who is reflecting on gender equity in STEM, and it looks like she's talking about discrimination that she faced in the past, and then also her attempts to promote girls in STEM, as she says. And just looking at this essay, as you can see, it is definitely shorter than 650 words, which is the max limit for the Common App essay, and most essays do tend to hover around that 650 word mark, maybe a little bit less. And then going off of the actual content in the essay, as I predicted, this is pretty vague and doesn't really have too many specific details, and there isn't really a whole lot there other than like the core message of her reflecting on gender and STEM, and she's talking about her efforts to kind of improve gender equity in STEM. Like I said, this essay is really vague just because the prompt that we gave it didn't have any specific details to work off of. So first, let's see if it can write something that's a bit longer. 650 word essay. Alright, so this time the essay that it gives us is a bit longer. I'm still not sure if it's 650 words, but definitely longer than the previous one. And looking at the content, I see that it gives it a title, which is not something that you need in your Common App essay, but it's there, I guess. And so this essay talks about this young woman and her experiences in college and how that's guiding her trajectory moving forward, which is interesting because the Common App essay is meant to help you apply to college, and this person is writing about already being in college, so yeah. And the things it talks about, again, are pretty general, and it gives a list of a number of different things that this person is doing. I would say that this person is trying to talk about too many different things, and then they should just focus on just a few, or maybe even just one. But again, this was written by an AI. So, I mean, considering that, it's like not terrible. I mean, it doesn't really answer the prompt, and it's also not really that good of an essay, but I mean, it tried. Alright, so the last couple essays that we tried were just generic prompts trying to get ChatGPT to write us a Common App essay, and so we didn't give it any specific details to work off of, so the essays ended up being really generic and really vague. So I want to see what would happen if we give it a little more detail to work off of to see if it can come up with a better essay. Alright, let's see what it gives us.
I say, prepare to be written! I'm doing it! I'm doing it! Yeah! Yeah! In some of these, in some of these. Almost there and done.
Honestly, that essay was not that bad. I mean, we didn't really give it all that much to work off of. I just gave it a little prompt at the beginning, but honestly, the essay that it came up with was not that bad. I mean, this essay definitely wouldn't get this person into like Harvard or something, but honestly, this essay might be better than some of the ones that I've read in the past, so good job, ChatGPT. Some of the things that I noticed is that this essay does tend to repeat itself in a couple points, and it talks about a couple of different events that went on in her life, but honestly, the way that she went about it is not that bad. Honestly, I was thinking that I was going to have more to nitpick about this essay, but it isn't actually that bad. Wow. I am very impressed. All right, let's try it with another example. All right, let's see. My name is Jungkook. Alright, unfortunately, I think Jungkook's essay is not as strong as Serena's. First of all, it's written in a more of like a letter or an email format, and it's definitely shorter than the previous one, so points off for those two things. And it definitely incorporated the prompt that I gave it pretty well. I mean, I do recognize now that the prompt I gave it is kind of vague, and so the things that he talks about are also kind of vague. I was wondering if it would give me specific instances of him performing in the band, you know, kind of to show rather than tell, but a lot of just telling in this essay. But again, for an AI, it's not that bad. I will say that one of the supplemental essays I wrote for one of my schools was also in the form of a letter, and this essay honestly might be a little bit better than that. So again, good job, ChatGPT. Now that we've had a couple attempts at having ChatGPT make Common App essays based on these made up personas, I wonder how well it would be able to write a Common App essay based on information I give it about myself, and see how it would compare to the Common App essay that I wrote in actual real life. Should be interesting. Is more drink in the summer after my year of high school, I again, that's pretty good. Yeah, I would say that this essay definitely is not as good as my essay. At least I would like to think so. I would like to think that the essay that I spent many hours on is many times better than the essay that ChatGPT was able to make in under a minute based on the information I gave it. But honestly, this essay isn't that bad. I think it covers a lot of the things that I also covered in my essay, and I think it does a pretty okay job of getting those themes across, albeit this essay does it a little bit more directly and explicitly than I did in my essay, because I was trying to be more subtle with it. But yeah, it's pretty nice. The part that especially caught my eye was this part right here, because these are actually things that I talked about in my essay, where in my Common App essay, I told my host brother that I wanted to like go to Seoul and try really spicy ramen, and that those were things that we did. So I'm very surprised that the AI was able to talk about those same things in this essay. Very, very interesting. Wow. Nice. ChatGPT. Now that we've taken a look at what ChatGPT can do and seen some examples of Common App essays that it wrote up, the question remains, should you use AI to write your Common App essays? Probably not. I think that ChatGPT is a very powerful AI that can do some pretty amazing things, but I don't think it's at the level where you can have it write your entire Common App essay, at least not yet. As you saw, we gave it a little bit of information, and the essays that it came up with were not that bad, but they were pretty general and lacking in a lot of the subtleties that you get from human writers, which is why I would suggest that you write your own Common App essays still. I'd say it could be pretty interesting to type a couple of things to see what ChatGPT does and try to incorporate some of those things into the essay, or see potential ideas they could give you for how you might want to write your essay. But I wouldn't suggest basing your entire essay off of what it has and just Control-C, Control-Ving onto your essay, because as we saw in the examples, these essays are pretty surface levels in a lot of ways, and the messages that they're trying to get across, while they are there, they do come across very directly and explicitly, so not a whole lot of nuance there, which if you're trying to apply to like these top elite universities, you kind of need. So At least for those, do not use ChatGPT for your entire essay. Maybe just a little bit though. It could be interesting. Maybe just for fun. Anyways, this has been a very fun little experiment trying to see what ChatGPT can do for our college essays. And honestly, I might try in a future video seeing if ChatGPT can write a full, complete, good college essay if I just give it enough information. But that's all for now. So if you're still looking for advice and tips on how to write your Common App essay, check out this video here, or feel free to check out any of the videos on my channel if you're looking for help with your college applications. And to all the high school students who are currently applying to colleges, I wish you the best of luck.